it's up to us to create the future that we move towards. And whatever we choose to focus on consistently will become our destination. So if you're consistently focusing on negative scenarios, fear, doom, hopelessness, expecting bad things to happen in the future, if you constantly focus on those visions, then you will end up experiencing that reality, because your mind takes you to the destination that you are giving your attention to. So if you give your attention to this, how can I put this? This luminous destination, which is free of fear, free of anger, free of insecurity, free of pessimism and hopelessness. It's a place of peace, and it exists inside of you. This is the most important thing I can tell you, that the place you're looking for, everything you're looking for, exists inside your own heart. So welcome to this video, and anyone who's been watching my channel for a few years will notice that I used to post quite a few face-to-face videos like this one. Then I stopped, and I haven't really made many face-to-face videos with me talking to the camera, mostly music videos and dance videos, because I'm a big fan of dance. I believe dancing takes us to places that we can't get to in any other way. So I really do encourage people on my channel to dance to uplifting, joyful music, because it evokes something inside. It takes us to another place that thinking doesn't take us to, talking doesn't take us to, even meditating doesn't take us to, but dancing can take us to that special place, a place of joy and freedom and celebration. So I'm a big advocate of dancing. So I used to post quite a few face-to-face videos talking about a kind of wide variety of different subjects, often spiritual subjects, often warnings about things that are going on in society that we need to be aware of, so that we can guard our heart and keep our mind focused, because there are many distractions in this world, and especially in the world of the media. And now we all carry around a little screen in our pockets everywhere we go. Then we're constantly connected to this world of information, which actually doesn't give us an accurate reflection of what is truly happening in the world and in the human psyche, for example. There's some truly beautiful things happening in the world, and the best place to observe those things happening are within ourselves. In fact, it's the only real place to observe the changes that are going on the planet is inside of you. And when you look outside of you, then you can easily get worried. You can easily get disheartened and think that things are going in a very negative direction. But while that's all going on in the outside world, something's happening inside of you, inside your own heart. And that's where your attention needs to be. If you were to have a proper perspective on what is important and what is real and what you need to focus on, what is of the utmost importance for you to focus on, then you need to be paying attention to your own heart and your own mind, and see how your mind is taking you to places which create suffering, essentially. Because we don't have to suffer in this life. And if we keep our attention on the outside world, especially in the media, which is constantly feeding all these subconscious fears we all have, and a lot of them are not even subconscious, but the media is feeding those fears. And the more we buy into the realm of the media, then all these jigsaw puzzle pieces, which are fear-based, kind of start clicking together, and we get a very negative vision of the future, very dystopian and dark and scary vision of the future. And that is not true. It's not an accurate vision of the future, because the true vision comes from our heart, and it's a vision which is inspired by faith, inspired by hope, inspired by trust, inspired by love, obviously. And it's up to us to create the future that we move towards. And whatever we choose to focus on consistently will become our destination. So if you're consistently focusing on negative scenarios, fear, doom, hopelessness, expecting bad things to happen in the future, if you constantly focus on those visions, then you will end up experiencing that reality, because your mind takes you to the destination that you are giving your attention to. So if you give your attention to this, how can I put this? This luminous destination, which is free of fear, free of anger, free of insecurity, free of pessimism and hopelessness, is a place of peace, and it exists inside of you. This is the most important thing I can tell you, that the place you're looking for, everything you're looking for, exists inside your own heart. And I know that's a cliche, but it's a cliche because it's true. And we are so distracted, we are all so distracted all of the time, most of the time, should I say, because we're looking in the wrong place. And we don't trust our heart, we don't trust the vision that our heart wants to give us, but we need to, because it's the only vision of safety and security and peace, true safety, security and peace, the only vision you will find anywhere that has any substance, because it is real, it has substance, it is where you belong. And only when you have your attention in that place of peace and security can you understand what this is all about. Can you relax and let go and really open yourself to experience the fullness of life? Because fear closes us down. You probably know this. Being afraid closes your heart down. It creates tension. So I say this on pretty much every video I make, that fear is tension. Whenever you have a fearful thought and you believe that thought, because if you don't believe it, there's no fear. But if you have a fearful thought and you believe that there is some kind of threat, then what happens in your body is tension. Your body goes into a state of tension because it's resisting this reality in your mind which you think is going to happen, or that you don't want to happen. Your body goes into a state of resistance, which is tension. And your heart tenses up. Your heart actually tenses up when you believe a fearful thought about something you don't want to happen. Your heart clenches. And of course, when the heart is tight, it can't be open, and we can't perceive the true luminosity of life, the true beauty, the spiritual dimension of life, which is a dimension of light. We can't perceive that when our heart is tight and contracted, because our heart is the gateway to that reality. And so we need the gateway to be open, wide open, so all the light can pour in. And that's why a relaxed heart is of the highest, utmost priority. It should be your utmost priority, a relaxed heart, because a relaxed heart is a peaceful heart. A relaxed heart is a trusting heart, and a relaxed heart is a safe heart. You feel safe when your heart is relaxed. When your heart is tense, you cannot feel safe. It is impossible to feel safe because you will feel there is threat. The fact that your heart is tense means that you feel threatened, means that there is some fear, whether it's conscious or subconscious, there is some fear running in the background that is making your heart tense. Not only your heart, but the rest of your body, your shoulders, your hands, your face. Everything tenses up when you sense there is some subconscious threat, and that can be anxiety, insecurity. It's all a reality of threat. And what you want, what you're designed for, is a reality of safety. And you can only experience that, and the good news is the easiest way to experience that is simply by releasing the tension from your heart, relaxing your heart. That is the most powerful statement you can make, that you are safe when your heart relaxes, because the heart only relaxes when we feel safe. Whenever there's a little bit of threat, a little bit of worry, a little bit of anxiety, the heart is in a state of tension. So you can actually choose to relax your heart voluntarily. Just have to take a few deep breaths and notice your chest. Notice if there's tension in your chest. As you breathe in and breathe out, just bring attention to the feeling in your chest and notice, is there tightness there? Do I feel tight? Does my chest feel tight? Is there tension there? On the out breath, just release and relax any tension that you feel in the center of your chest. Feel a relief. Allow a sense of relief to come over you as you breathe out, and let go of any tension you can feel. Consciously decide that you want to let go of tension. You have to decide this. It has to be something you want. When you want it, it happens. Life is like that. We are like that. When we truly want something, when we wholeheartedly want it, then it happens. But often we want things, but some part of us doesn't really want it, or we want something, but the higher part of ourselves knows that what we want isn't good for us. But when what you want is in alignment with what is good for you, then you always get it. You always receive what it is that your heart wants. Because your heart runs the show, believe it or not. It's been subjugated by our mind. We've all been taught, our minds have all been conditioned to be like a tyrant to our heart, to control the heart, to speak louder than the heart and speak aggressively to the heart. And that's why we all suffer so much, because we've basically got an inner dictator. The voice in our head is like an inner dictator, constantly berating and criticizing our heart, which is who we are. Our heart is who we are. It's where we reside. Who you truly are is in your heart. It's that divine spark. Your soul resides in your heart. And so it's always being belittled and criticized and subjugated by the mind, the aggressive, critical, negative, harsh mind. And so it's up to you to set your heart free. It's up to you to give your heart the freedom it longs for. Because when your heart does experience the freedom from tension, the freedom from criticism, the freedom from fear, the freedom from resistance, when your heart relaxes and you feel that freedom, the relief, then suddenly more light comes into your reality, and you realize that actually this is where your attention belongs. That feeling of relief in your heart, that feeling of openness and spaciousness, is what you've been looking for. You may have been looking for it in possessions and material things. You may have been looking for it in achievements and trying to get somewhere, or achieve a career goal, or become someone, acquire fame, or acquire recognition. We look for that. We look for something to fill that space. We look for that feeling of completeness in so many different places, but it can only come from one place, and that's by releasing the tension in your heart and allowing your heart to be relaxed, at ease, and open, not fearing, not feeling threatened, relaxed, open, and feeling safe. And you can choose this any moment you want to. Anytime you want to, you can choose to ignore those negative thoughts, those fearful thoughts, those thoughts which are creating tension, creating resistance in your heart, because it's always the thoughts which create the tension. Conscious or subconscious, there's always a thought creating the tension. But you don't need to mess around in the world of thoughts. You can just bring your attention straight to your heart and ask yourself, do I feel tense? Is there tension? And usually the answer is yes. And all you have to do is let go of the tension by breathing deeply and gently for a while. Just relaxing your chest, letting go of the tension, letting go of the stress inside, letting go of the pressure. So much pressure on our heart, which comes from our mind, which generates so much pressure, shoulds, all these shoulds and shouldn'ts. The pressure that comes from these ideas in our mind of how we should be and what we shouldn't be doing. That all creates pressure in our heart, which is tension essentially. And we need to let go, open the valve to the pressure, and let all the pressure, all the steam be released, all the tension be released, all the pressure, let it go, and just relax and realize that I can be at ease in this moment. I can feel good in this moment. I can feel peaceful. I can actually feel happy in this moment just by letting go of tension. Now your mind will always want to come back in and say, okay, that's enough relaxation, that's enough feeling good. Now you need to start worrying about something. Now you need to go back to being anxious. That's the mind, that's the ego. That's how it controls your heart by telling you that feeling at peace is just a temporary thing, and that stress, anxiety, worry is your natural resting state. Well, of course, you know that's not true. How could it possibly be? How could it be your natural state to be in fear, anxiety, worry, stress, tension, anger? Is that really, do you really think that's where you belong? No, the ego persuades us that that's natural, that's second nature, but it's not true. And so we have to recondition ourselves, recondition our heart to getting used to just being relaxed, getting used to just feeling safe, because that's what we need more than anything else. We need to feel safe.